Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I'm a couple days late, but I seem to be in the middle of a window in Whole30 where everything can just go fuck itself. So let's just get down to the basics. I'm just going to talk about two things today. Needless to say, I made it to my workouts. I didn't make it to the runs. That's about it on that front. Weigh-in was good. I lost a couple pounds. That's good too. Anyway, I forgot to say on the last video about my deep tissue laser therapy. I got that done a couple weeks ago. I have another appointment tomorrow. Basically, it was almost like an ultrasound wand, just going over my knee, the inner and the outer, because I have the recurring knee pain on the inside. That's where if I do any kind of lateral movement and I hit it wrong, it feels like hot knives going through it. And then on the outside, I have a really tight IT band. It'll freeze up. As I was saying, when we went to the snow, it started freezing up in the car. I was having a lot of issues where if I sat still for too long, it would all of a sudden just freeze up and I wouldn't be able to walk for a few minutes until I got it warmed up and it would unstiffen. So I let my physical therapist know about both issues and he decided to concentrate on those two areas. 15 minutes, it was like warm, a little warm going over. It felt really good and that was it. Like you didn't feel anything else. And they said, okay, so that was the first one. Usually people don't feel any effects until like maybe the second or the third. Some people do on the first one. Just let us know how you're feeling. So that was a week before my trip to Portland. I got on the plane after doing a hard workout in the morning and I sat down and it was cold. I thought for sure that my leg would freeze up and as soon as I stood up to go to the bathroom or get off the plane that I was just going to fall over and make a big fool of myself. I was prepared for that. I was holding on to everything and I stood up and nothing. Like my knee was fine. I had no tightness, no pain, nothing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a miracle. It was like that the whole weekend on the flight home, no pain. I have to say, like, starting a few days ago, it started to tighten up a little bit again, but nothing like it was before. So I'm going to give a big thumbs up for deep tissue laser therapy. I don't know if that's what did it, but there was nothing else that changed in my routine besides that, and my knee just got much better. So I have another appointment tomorrow. I bought a package of 6. Let's hope with all of them, most of my knee pain goes away. I will keep you updated on that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was my Whole30. I am now on day 10. It is difficult in the middle of the day. Like dinners are okay because I always used to cook big dinners. Usually if I was running out of time, it was only meat and veggies. You know, I didn't have time to cook rice or some kind of other side dish. I would roast veggies, I would cook meat, and that's basically the Whole30. You just kind of have to watch with your seasonings to make sure none of them have any additives that you don't want. And that you're cooking with olive oil or coconut oil and not, or like canola oil and not any kind of soybean oil or anything like that. So, but during the day is hard because that's when I would just make myself a sandwich or a bowl of yogurt with some granola on top. None of that's allowed. So the middle of the day has been a little difficult for me trying to find things to eat. I was reading through the book and somebody in there had mentioned apple slices with almond butter on it. Now in my True Fare meals that I had gotten a bunch of packets of almond butter. I've never really used almond butter before. I'm like, what am I going to do with this shit? So I cut up an apple and I squeezed a little out on that and oh my gosh, it was like heaven. So that has become my main snack. I think I am now out of almond butter. I'll have to go through some of the other packets and see if there's any left in there because it is really good, which is a problem because it's also fattening. So I've got to make sure that I'm not going overboard on that. I went to Whole Foods. I picked up all kinds of fruits and veggies because my family ate them all. So I can graze on berries and bananas and oranges during the day. The True Fare meals that I bought and spent a fortune on, I have to say that I'm not too impressed with them. Part of that is because the stuff that they use are things that I'm not huge into, like butternut squash and cabbage, and sweet potatoes. Those are like the main ingredients that they use to base a lot of the meals on, and they're not my favorite. I will eat them, but not my favorite. I understand that we're limited in what we can eat, but still, the meals are small and not exactly flavorful. I have to say though, their breakfasts are really good. I am really in love with the turkey skillet. That one's really good. The pork skillet's not bad. The chicken, I wasn't really a fan of. So I have been choosing to try to find things to eat besides those meals, even though I have them out as a last minute resort, because they're not really appealing to me. So I don't know if those are your thing, if those are vegetables that you really like. Yeah, I would say if you want to do this, go for it. But for me, I think that was a waste of money on my part. I'm glad that they're there in case I really need something to eat, but they're not my first choice. I would rather eat something that I've made. Even, you know, something plain is kind of better than that. Now on the Whole30, you go through stages. So your first stage is where you're hungry all the time because you're scared to death of what you're going to eat. I think I'm going to be on that stage the entire trip. The second stage is called Kill All the Things, where your body is transitioning from using sugar to using fat as your reserves. So instead of getting quick bursts of sugar from all the crap you're eating, your body has to rely on pulling fat out of your fat reserves to burn that. And it can be a little sluggish on the transition, and you feel exhausted and headachy and irritable, and I had all those things this week. I pretty much snapped on Tuesday. I have to say, if I had actually made it to my run that morning, I probably would have actually killed somebody in the afternoon, but as it was, I was just yelling a lot. Yeah, it is hard. I feel a little more energized today, but I have been dragging ass the last few days. I used my workout on Monday to simply stretch out from the big fitness challenge on Sunday, which was 4 hours long. I did compete a lot more than I did the time before. I'm very proud of my team and how well we did. But I was, my back was super sore. Not like I tweaked it, just like sore, good sore muscles. So we were doing an upper body workout on Monday, and I simply just took those exercises, didn't really do them, and used the moves to kind of stretch. And I modified all of yesterday's workout because it was a bunch of jumping around and my knee doesn't do that. And so it was a slow and steady. I've just been tired. It is hard. And I'm sure if you've ever done a Whole30, you know what I'm talking about. If you ever do a Whole30, be prepared for this. It's just everything seems really hard to do. Like, oh my God, I gotta fold laundry. I don't have the energy for that. So just getting through the day and trying to hit the milestones, get lunch, dinner, you know, done, the kids to their sports, and maybe like make a bed, and I'm happy with myself. So that's kind of where I am on the Whole30. We're still working out. Hopefully we're going to be adding the runs back in. It has been butt ass cold this last week, to the point of being freezing. Now the rest of the people in the country are gonna laugh at us, but we here in California have a hard time with that. So wind and cold in the dark in the morning is not conducive to a good run. So we should be adding running back in next week because we are now signed up for the Diva Run. Yay! Anyway, that's about it for this week. Deep tissue laser therapy, thumbs up. Whole food, oh my God. The True Fare meals that I got, and all the fruits and veggies that I got, yummy, yummy. Apples with almond butter, oh my God. Anyway, that's it for this week. I will talk to you next week. Sorry for being a couple days late. I was in my kill all the things, can't do anything mood. I will talk to you later. Bye.